So here's a super quick tip, just something that I thought might be helpful to a few people. If you've got a slotter base like this and you've got a gap you want to fill on it, sometimes it can be a pain in the arse to want to kind of mix up some milliput or green stuff or whatever just for this purpose. It can be a little bit, you know, inconvenient to have to mix a fresh bunch of putty just to do a tiny little infill like this. So I just want to show you a quick trick that can circumvent that problem, I guess. So yeah, here's what you do. Okay, so first and foremost, I want you to grab some blue tack or poster tack, or I mean, this is white, blue tack is often blue. You've probably got loads of this just lying around on your desk. If you're anything like me, my hobby holders are all blue tack topped. I don't go for the clamp style GW ones. I don't like those personally. I like the blue tack ones. So there's always a ton of blue tack near me, and obviously it's instant. There's absolutely nothing to do. It's just there and ready to go. So grab a bit of blue tack and just flip over the problematic slotter base and get yourself a little ball of blue tack into the gaps. There we go. Little ball of blue tack into that gap. And make sure they're pretty well filled. There's no harm in making sure that you're suitably generous. And you're going to see it'll probably bulge out a bit at the top here. You see like that is doing there? You can just obviously flatten that back down by hand. And same goes really if you have a divot like on this side where we've got a depression. You can just add a little extra blob and then flatten it down by hand. Get a bit of plastic in there to help flatten it down if needs be. You definitely want it as flat as possible. I'm going to assume that after you've filled this gap, much like I would be doing, you're probably going to put like a texture paint on here, or flock or something like that. So chances are you don't need to be perfectly 100% flat, because you're probably going to have something else that's a bit more self-leveling to hide some of it. But that's what you're going to have. And you might ask yourself, well, this is not a good thing to put basing materials on top of. It's soft, and it would leave a weak point in the base. You know, if something impacted against it, it could crack your texture paint, or it could lift your turf or whatever you've put down. So what we're going to do is just grab a little tube of super glue, and we're just going to drop some super glue straight over the top of that poster tack. I've dribbled a little bit into an area I didn't want it there. And then we're going to grab a cocktail stick. This is something I recommend all hobbyists keep a glut of on their desk. Always have cocktail sticks to hand. There are a bajillion different uses for them. They're one of those tools that I personally really don't ever want to be without. And then finally, I'm just going to reach over here, grab some CA activator, spray that super glue. It will instantly activate. Got a bit of smoke going on there. It sometimes smokes. Super glue, or CA in general, generates heat as it hardens, which is why when you get it on your fingers it feels warm. And so when you instantly activate it, it can sometimes generate a bit of heat. But once you've done that, you've now got something which, if I take my knife here, you can see is hard. I'll try and hold this up to the mic and get some ASMR tapping noises. You can hear that that's not going anywhere. That is a safe surface to pop some texture materials onto. And obviously if you need to smooth it off a touch, that's easily done. You can just use your knife. And then if you have excess on the bottom here that you need to get off, you can again just use your knife. You might not want it to have too much excess down here, because that might mean that it sort of sticks itself to your hobby table, which would be a little bit annoying. So again, just blade of your knife will just grab any excess out of there. And so that is my super quick and simple, easy solution when you don't want to mix up a tiny little amount of milliput to fill in a gap on a base. just use materials that are on hand, that are available. Also, this little Squig guy is coming to the YouTube channel soon, so be sure to look out for that. Thanks, folks.